Hey guys, what's up? I hope that you have enjoyed fully the festival of Lord Ganesha. And after this enjoyment, once again we are going to resume our online lectures and we are going to study the second last term of your syllabus in paper number 3rd, American Literature, that is the literature of Chinese American diaspora. So before starting, I would like to tell you the definition of diaspora. So diaspora is the dispersion of the Jews among the Gentiles after the captivity. That is the one spelling, one meaning, or a group so dispersed, especially Jews, out of the land of Israel. It is related with the Israel. The regions where such a dispersed group, especially the Jews, reside, taken collectively. Any dispersion of an originally homogeneous entity such as a language or culture. Okay, so what is the diaspora? So actually it is related with the Jew people who have that settled elsewhere, and they have left their homeland and they have settled elsewhere, and now they are coming together at that unknown or a different land, and they have difficulties like a homogeneous entity and the problem of language and the culture. So we are going to see in this video again in the next video where we are going to discuss about the Indian diaspora in America. So I hope that you got the understand you got the meaning of the word diaspora. So what is diaspora? Again, I would like to repeat that diaspora means what? Suppose Indian people or Chinese people. Just suppose that the Chinese people are from China, and some of them they have settled in United States of America or elsewhere in the world. Maybe in India, maybe in UK, maybe in Russia, maybe in Germany or France or any country of this world, and where they settled, and you know that whenever they settled we are taking example that if they are supposed settled in United States of America, so the language spoken in United States of America is English, not the Chinese, and the culture is also very different, and the Chinese culture is related or closely associated with Indian culture. We can also identify some of similarities between Chinese and Indian culture, but in United States of America has a very different and distinct culture from India, both India and China. So actually, it is a moderate, something very that very free of mind culture in America. And again, you can say that it is a mixed up culture also because a lot of people from different countries, nations, they have come to United States of America and they have settled there. So and I am talking about the Chinese people. Now they have settled in United States of America, and now their language they are facing the language problem because they speak a Chinese language, and now they have to learn English language. They have to communicate with English with the people. Again, the culture is different, and they have to match up with the different culture of United States of America. Again, they have to survive their own language and their own culture. So that problem is called as a diaspora. Actually, it is associated with Jew people because Jew people, you have studied in Jewish American literature or Jewish American fiction that how Jew people have facing a lot of problem because they have to make a displacement, means they have to go uh, by one country to another country to settle because a lot of people had freedom. So therefore diaspora associated with Jews, but again actual meaning you got the diaspora. So let's start with our this term, that is Chinese American diaspora. So Chinese American literature is the body of literature produced in the United States by writers of Chinese descent. This genre began in the 19th century and flowered in 20th with such authors as Sui Sinfa, Frank Chin, Maxine Hong Kingston, and Amy Tan. So these are the recent and remarkable writers of Chinese American literature. So what is the characteristic and themes of Chinese American literature? So Chinese American literature deals with the many topics and themes. A common topic is that challenges both inner and outer of assimilation in mainstream because they have to assimilate they have to mix up with the mainstream. The mainstream means what? The main culture, the main lifestyle of United States of America, the main focus. And actually the Chinese culture and Chinese life is different, so they have to mix up in, they have to assimilate with the main lifestyle, main culture of United States of America, white American society by Chinese Americans, because they have to mix up with the white American society. Another common theme is that of interaction between generations, particularly older Chinese born and younger. So you know that the older people who actually born in China and they came here in United States of America for job or for study purpose, and they have settled there, and so therefore they are giving value to their own traditional culture of China. But the younger people who are born in America, so American born generation, so actually they don't know about the China, about the Chinese culture, and therefore they prefer most moderate, developed, free-minded American culture. So therefore that is the conflict and interaction between this older generation who born in China and the younger generation who born in America. So questions of identity and gender are often dealt with as well. So question of identity, because the Chinese people wanted to make their identity as a Chinese American, and again the gender is also there because you know that women are marginalized in Chinese culture as in Indian culture. So again in America they have doubly marginalized as a woman and again as a Chinese woman. So let's talk about the 19th century Chinese American literature. So 19th century Chinese American literature has only recently come to be studied. As much of it was written in Chinese, the Chinese language writings of Chinese Americans immigrants स्थलांतरित लोग. So Chinese American immigrants have only recently been made available. 19th century Chinese American writers were primarily workers and students. Keep in your mind that they were primarily workers and students. These early Chinese American authors produced autobiographies as well as novels and poems. Many wrote in both English and Chinese, sometimes exploring similar themes in each language, sometimes translating their own works from language into the other. It may be that they first wrote in Chinese and after that they have translated it or those literature in English language. So tone as well as content different. They differed. As Chinese American writers in English dealt with the rampant stereotypes of yellow pearl because they are yellowish. Among these early writers was Yang Wing, the first Chinese student to graduate from an American university. He was studied in LA University, LA, in 1854, whose autobiography, My Life in China and America, was published in 1909, and he has pointed out the differences between the life of China and the life of America. So let's start with the 20th century Chinese American literature. So Chinese American literature written of the 20th century is written almost exclusively in English. So the writers like Edith Maud Aden, writing as Sui Sin Fa, was one of the first Chinese American authors to publish fiction in English. Although her works first published in teens when she was that under 18-year-old, she wrote the novel, were not really discovered and reprinted until 1995. So again in the 1930, Lin Yuk Tung, he has written one novel, My Country and My People, and it was published in 1935. And another novel, that is The Importance of Living, and that novel published in 1937. So both these novels became bestsellers in United States of America. Chinese American authors became more prolific and accepted after the lifting of the Chinese Exclusion Act. Authors who achieved success in 1915 included C.Y. Lee, she's the author, whose The Flower Drum Song was made into a Rogers and Hammerstein musical, and Jade Snow Wang, author of Fifth Chinese Daughter. So these are the novels of 20th century Chinese American. Again, in the 1917, saw further progress. Playwright Frank Chin's play, The Chicken Coop Chinaman, and this play was written in 1971 and it was performed in United States America, and became the first play by an Asian American to be produced as a major New York production. Maxine Hong Kingston won the National Book Critic Circle Award in 1976 for Teen, that is the play, that is the book she has written in 1918. So David Henry Hong won the Obie Award for his play Fob, as well as Tony Award for Best Play for his Mr. Butterfly. So David Wong has won the Obie Award for his two best play. One is the Fob and the second one is the M Butterfly. Betty Bowlord, she has written this novel, that is the Spring Moon, and this novel published in 1981, and this novel became an international bestseller and an American Book Award nominee. Amy Tan was one of the my favorite author, and actually her one story also included in our syllabus, and we are going to study it. So Amy Tan's The Joy Luke Club was published to immediate popularity and wide, though not universal, acclaim. The book stayed on the New York Times bestseller list for over 40 weeks and won the National Book Award, the Los Angeles Times Book Prize, and the Commonwealth Gold Award. The Joy Luck Club was produced as a major motion picture in 1993 and was nominated for the Best Picture. In the 1990, we saw the further growth in the Chinese American literature as David Wong Lui received acclaim for his short story collection Pangs of Love, and Eric Lui collected memoirs and essays in Accidental Asian Notes of a Native Speaker, which was published in 1997. Woman Warrior, Memoir of Childhood Among Ghosts, these are the another book was written by her. So now we are going to talk about the recent history. So currently active and acclaimed Chinese American authors are Gish Jen, Jean Kok, Shirley Jok Lin Lim, and Sandra Sing Lo. The Sean Wong's novel American Niece, published in 1996, was adapted into an independent feature film entitled Americanese, means America Chinese, like that, and the film released in the theater in 2009. So let's talk about the Chinese American criticism. So Frank Chin and others have been vocal critics of popular Chinese American authors, particularly Chinese American women authors such as Maxine Hong Kingston and Amy Tan. Chin argues that Tan and others paint a world in which Chinese Americans must repudiate the ikigui evil of Chinese culture. Others have criticized Chinese American women authors for criticizing sexism in Chinese culture. In so doing, critics argue these women are participating in the racial castration of Chinese and Asian American men who are already materially and physically feminized by mainstream white American culture. Some of these criticisms are fueled by anger over the way in which female Chinese American authors have portrayed the sexism and patriarchy of imperial China, ways which male critics feel are sometimes unfair. For example, Maxine Hong Kingston has been criticized for her claim in The Woman Warrior that in Chinese the character for woman is also the character for slave. So critics of Kingston claim that while slave contain woman, it is only as a radical to indicate the pronunciation of the character. So I hope that you understood the criticism also, because as I have told you that Chinese culture is similar to Indian culture, and in China women regarded the secondary, inferior to men, and again there is a patriarchy, पितृसत्ता कुटुंब पद्धती असल्यामुळे स्त्रियांना चीनी संस्कृतीमध्ये दुय्यम स्थान देण्यात आलेलं आहे. ज्या प्रकारे भारतामध्ये स्त्रियांना एक वस्तू म्हणून बघितलं जातं, एक भोग वस्तू म्हणून बघितलं जातं. कारण आपल्या देशामध्ये गाणे पण आहेत आणि आपण खूप आनंदाने एन्जॉय करत नाचत ते गाणे ऐकतो. आपण त्याचा जराही विचार करत नाही. फॉर एक्झाम्पल ते गाणं आहे बघा, तू चीज है बडी मस्त मस्त, अक्षय कुमारवर चित्र झालेलं गाणं, उदित नारायणने गायलेलं गाणं आहे. आणि त्याचा रिमेक पण मशीन नावाच्या मागच्या वर्षी पिक्चर रिलीज झाला होता मशीन नावाचा, त्याच्यामध्ये त्याचा रिमेक पण आलं होतं की मैं चीज बडी हो मस्त मस्त. आणि आपण जे वेगवेगळे ॲडव्हर्टाईज बघतो साधी दाढी करायची ॲडव्हर्टाईज असेल, आपण ब्लेडने दाढी करणारा एक माणूस दाखवतात, त्याची दाढी केली केली की सुंदर बाई तिथे येते. काय करायचं म्हणजे बाई तिथे येते याचा अर्थ बाई एक सौंदर्याची एक वस्तू आहे असं दाखवलं जातं. किंवा एखादा व्यक्ती येतो तो स्प्रे लावतो अंगाला आणि लगेच तिथे एक मुलगी येते. तर ह्या गोष्टीतून आपल्याला लक्षात येतं की स्त्रियांचं स्थान जे भारतामध्ये ते कोण होतं असं जसं चीनमध्ये पण आहे. आणि चीनमध्ये जे लिहिलं जातं गुलाम म्हणून, तर त्याच्यामध्ये स्त्री पण येतं. म्हणजे ते सिम्बॉल तुम्ही इथं बघू शकता स्क्रीनवर, स्लेव्हचं काय आहे आणि त्याच्यामध्ये स्त्रियांचं देखील सिम्बॉल आहे. म्हणजे स्त्रिया आणि गुलाम एकच आहे अशा प्रकारे चीनमध्ये बघण्यात येतं. So, friends, I hope that you understood the gender identity criticism in Chinese American diaspora. So, they have a diaspora of their culture, the language, and the gender and their identity. So, these are the four things which dealt in their diaspora and they came up in their literature, in their novel, in their poetry, in their plays, and in their essays also. So, I hope that you understood this video. If you like this video, please like this video and also fill the attendance come quiz form, because that form gives me information whether you really like it, really you understood it or not. So thank you for watching. See you in another lecture. Bye.